Hey there, it's Jenny. Welcome back to my channel, where we as midlife mamas are not settling for the stereotypical way of aging and instead are fighting to thrive in midlife. Now I want to see if this sounds a little familiar to you. We were the women who were supposed to have a career, volunteer at the kids' school, clean the house, and have dinner on the table. Yes, it was a lot, but somehow we managed to juggle it all. We were part of the women's movement that said we can have it all. And we wore that badge with honor. But then something shifted. As we hit mid-40s, it felt like our stress levels hit a new high. Suddenly, we felt we were a little scarier to our families than we intended. This was PMS on a new level, and started feeling overwhelmed by tasks that used to feel like second nature. Why does it feel like after juggling everything, our ability to cope took a nosedive? Today we're talking about a big piece of the puzzle, perimenopause and menopause. More specifically, why is stress hitting us so much harder during this time? If you are suddenly not feeling like yourself and can't seem to handle stress like you used to, you're not alone. Let's dive into why this happens and then what we can do about it. First, let's talk about what's happening in your body in the transition from perimenopause to menopause, which can last up to 10 years. Your body is going through a lot of changes, and your hormones, the estrogen and progesterone, are fluctuating, and how your brain copes with that makes your emotions feel like they're going on a roller coaster ride you didn't sign up for. If you're like me and are finding yourself unable to cope as easily as you used to and your stress levels are very high, tell me in the comments what you found has worked for you. Stick around till later in the video and I'll share my tips. Imagine there's like a thermostat in your body and it's been set at a certain temperature. And then menopause comes along and starts jacking with the dial, making it harder to keep your body at a steady temperature. Hello, night sweats and hot flashes, and this can have you feeling more stressed than usual. Now let's add another layer with cortisol and your adrenal glands. Cortisol is that stress hormone because it's your body's response to stress. And as your body is transitioning from perimenopause to menopause, those estrogen and progesterone levels are fluctuating. So the way your body compensates for that is your adrenal glands go work on overtime to fill in the gaps and pump out that cortisol, which makes you feel that higher stress level and feel like you might be constantly in that fight or flight mode. When cortisol levels are high, it's hard to relax and it's hard to get a good night's sleep because cortisol and melatonin, the sleep hormone, work opposite each other. So you want melatonin to be higher at night and cortisol to be low, and the opposite in the morning to wake up and get ready for your day. But if cortisol is staying high all day, it makes that restful sleep a lot harder to get. And cortisol also makes those hot flashes and night sweats a little more amped up. It's like your body's stress dial is stuck on all the time. Plus you add on the mental load that comes with this season of life. Maybe you've launched your kids or you're about to, you're maybe juggling, taking care of aging parents, you're hitting the high point of your career. With all these changes happening inside and outside, no wonder stress feels like it's hitting harder right now. So if you're like me and you don't want to feel murdery one second and crying the next, let's talk about ways to lower this stress. Whether you choose to use hormone replacement therapy or not, you still need to learn to cope with this new stress. The first tip to start turning that stress dial down is to get moving. I always say when my highest stress seasons are, I'm in the best shape because that's my favorite way to cope with stress. And I don't mean hardcore workouts, not even the strength training that I'm talking about in other videos. This is simple movement. Getting outdoors even could be the best medicine for that stress level. I like to just go on walks. When I'm feeling that extra stress pop up, an outdoor walk can really make a difference. And here's a tip. Your body feels like it's in fight or flight mode, so start scanning the horizon, and that signals to your brain that you're walking away from that stress. So hold your head up, work on your posture, and go for a walk around your neighborhood. Even 5 to 10 minutes can make a difference in lowering that stress. You could even end the day with a little bit of bedtime yoga to help lower that stress even more so you prepare for a good night's sleep. Consider this movement a little bit of me time where you can kind of process your thoughts for the day and lower that stress. Now, this next tip is not going to be a surprise from a nutrition coach, but you're going to need to eat a little cleaner to feel better. What I mean by that is colorful fruits and vegetables, one ingredient foods, that higher quality protein, and start lowering that processed foods and sugar. Yes, I know those are the comfort foods that we stress eat, because we think it's going to make us get better. But unfortunately, it's doing quite the opposite. I want you to pay attention to your added sugar. You don't have to go cold turkey, but just start lowering that sugar, and you're going to see your anxiety and stress levels come down with that. And alcohol goes into this. I know you think that alcohol is lowering your stress, but it's wrecking your sleep and it's not really helping long term with that stress. So intentionally pick the times that you use it. And if you're feeling constantly wired and tired, sleep is another important thing to work on. Create a bedtime routine that consistently sets you up for relaxation and getting you ready for that sleep. Something that just starts easing you into that relaxation mode. And I know this isn't easy during this menopause phase, but creating that bedtime routine so that you can slowly tweak what works for you really makes a difference in getting that better night's sleep. And when you sleep better, you're able to cope with things a whole lot better the next day. And my tip number 4 is just chill out. I'm kidding. That one phrase angers me so much when my husband tells me that. I know, if you could chill out, you would do it, right? We're gonna go back to that walking, maybe outside in nature, just getting outside, listening to the birds, calming yourself down, slowing your breathing. All of those things can really make a difference. I love box breathing, where you breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, and then hold for 4 counts, and do that counting and breathing for several rounds. It can really lower that stress in the moment. What makes you feel calm and really lowers that stress? Pay attention to that and have ways of adding more of that to your life. And one thing I want you to not forget about is laughter. Did you know that kids laugh up to 100 times a day and adults only a handful? Find more ways to bring laughter to your day. Laughter can lower those stress hormones and bring in those good feeling endorphins. So how can you bring more laughter? Maybe you can watch a funny movie, talk with a friend who makes you giggle. Something to bring in more laughter is going to help you feel better. And my final tip is you don't have to go it alone. Get you a support network, maybe other girlfriends that are going through the same thing. Talk it out, reach out to someone. Sharing what you're going through can really lighten the load. And I want to encourage you, if you don't have one yet, find a doctor that specializes in menopause, because hormone replacement therapy might be just what you need to get you through this stressful season. Remember, menopause is a natural part of life, but it doesn't have to be a stressful one. Understanding what's going on in your body and finding ways to bring more calm into your life can really make a difference. And if you need help building that nighttime routine that sets you up for a good night's sleep, watch this video here. And before you go, be sure to hit like and subscribe so I can continue to inspire you to really thrive in this midlife season.